When you're craving real Jewish deli food, there's nothing like Nana's Deli, a New Jersey legend since 1981. For over 40 years, Nana's has been serving up the classics, their famous tuna, sloppy joes, piled high pastrami, homemade soups, and fresh salads. You can grab your favorites to go from either Livingston or Jersey City, but here's something special. The Livingston location now features a full wait service in the bistro where you can sit down, relax, and enjoy your meal hot and fresh. Every bistro order even comes with Food Czar flats. And here's the insider deal. If you dine in and mention Food Czar, you'll get 20% off your entire check. So whether you're in Livingston or Jersey City, stop by Nana's Deli and taste why they've been a Garden State favorite for more than 4 decades. Visit nanasdeli.com for menus, hours, and locations. This episode is brought to you by Livingston Car Wash. Since 1966, Livingston Car Wash has been a trusted name for quality car care in our community. Family owned and operated, it's now led by Paul Ritter, a proud Livingston resident dedicated to delivering exceptional service. From exterior washes and full service detailing to windshield chip repair and paintless dent removal, their team handles it all with precision and care. Conveniently located at the Route 10 Circle in Livingston and open 7 days a week, Livingston Car Wash combines decades of expertise with a genuine commitment to the community. Drive clean, drive local, drive with confidence. Livingston Car Wash.
This is Behind the Counter.
Behind the counter.
With the Food Zone. Here's Heidi.
Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Counter with the Food Czar, which is me, Heidi Blum. And today I am sitting with a legend, king of hospitality, and someone who I just met 2 weeks ago, but I feel like I've known you forever, and I feel like if we went to camp together, we would have been best friends.
The feeling is more than mutual. We did meet a couple of weeks ago. I am not the only legend sitting at this table. You, my dear friend Heidi, are a legend. You have a wonderful reputation, a lot of mutual friends. You've done some incredible things for small businesses. And I think the next half hour, 45 minutes, whatever it's going to be absolutely special. And I think I'm going to be crying and laughing and going through an emotional roller coaster with you because I think you keep things real just like I do.
Amen, brother. Amen. So if you don't recognize the voice, I'm sitting with, I say New Jersey zone, but you're not from New Jersey, which we'll get into. I am sitting with the king, the man, the legend, Josh Capon. Now you're supposed to say something. I don't know. I mean,
listen, born and raised Rockland County. I'm a New York native, Rockland County. Lived in the city for a long time. Currently residing in Tenafly, New Jersey, and just opened up T-Fly, and just opened up Capon Shop House in Jersey. So Jersey pride, baby, Jersey pride.
So we're sitting at Capon's Chop House, like you just said.
Opened 3 weeks ago. We just opened for lunch today.
I feel like VIP all the way.
Were you a Neil Diamond?
Yes, today.
So on the boats and on the planes.
So
they're coming to America.
2 minutes in, I already have to wrangle them in.
Back again.
Okay, so here's
a jazz singer. I was a hot mess during that movie.
Here's the hottest. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. Love on the Rocks.
Love on the Rocks. You want to know a fun fact? E.T.
Yeah.
I was crying so uncontrollably at that movie that my mom had to remove me from the theater. Yeah. Anyway.
I'm sorry. That's funny.
We're really opening up here.
So, and we're like now 3 minutes in. Okay. So we're going to get to everything, but I have been following you and been a huge fan for a very long time. And watching you, first of all, is exhausting because I've never seen someone who has more energy and probably less sleep than you. Am I correct?
I'm going to correct one thing right there. I actually sleep pretty good. I know that people think I'm on fire, and I do have a lot of energy, but I actually sleep pretty good. I do go to bed late, but I think one of my secrets to success, if you will, is that I try to get 6 to 7 to sometimes even 8 hours of sleep, but I do sleep like a rock once I go to bed.
So we are sitting at Capon's Chop House in Hackensack on Route 4, which opened 3 weeks ago, and I'm going to say the coolest thing probably for you is driving and seeing across the highway your name up on the building.
It's incredible. It's incredible. It's my partner said it's 30 years in the making. I've been doing this for a really long time, and to have a team behind me that supports me and my vision and my and to support my name. I mean, I tell everybody that I hire when they come to this restaurant, when they walk in, it's my name out there. But if you picture your name up there and you treat it like your restaurant, then we'll be incredibly successful here.
So when I follow you and now knowing you a little bit, you are extremely genuine. You have, in my opinion, a very good moral compass. Am I saying it right? For knowing you, the little amount that I do, you have amazing quotes that are very motivating and really are about life and not the restaurant business, right? If you look at the big picture, right? So growing up in Rockland County, give me a little bit of your journey that brought you to today.
Wow. Growing up in Rockland County. Grew up in the Rock, Pomona Suffering, around High School. First job, I think I was 14 or 15. I was a dishwasher at a place called Jimmy's, a little local restaurant. I was a dishwasher. I did it for 6 months. I was very good at it. Probably one of the best dishwashers you've ever seen, but I decided really quick, that's not what I want to be doing. I evolved into a busboy. Back then they were called busboys. Now they're called SA, server assistants. I was a busboy at Our Gang Inn on Route 202. I was a busboy there. I also worked at a local bakery, Pomona Hot Bagels, where I invented the everything bagel. I worked there with my best friend, Jason Prussian.
Hold on a second. You invented?
We were two husky kids. They when you were chubby back then, you were called husky. We were two husky kids working in a bakery when we were 16 years old. I gained 20 pounds I never lost. Because when you take a job in a bakery, you don't know what to eat first. And then after 2 weeks, you can't even look at anything anymore. I literally invented the everything bagel. One Saturday morning when you make the bagels, all the extra seasoning was all on the table. I said, hey, let's make an everything bagel. And Stella, the owner, laughed at me. She said, stop messing around and get back to work. 2 weeks later, David's Bagels came out with the everything bagel. So, yes, I am going on the record to say I invented the everything bagel.
I think that's an exclusive.
It's true. I was also working when I was a busboy at Our Gang Inn. I remember one Saturday morning, one of the line cooks, the head line cook, didn't show up for breakfast. And the owner was freaking out. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I was there the night before, and I knew this guy. I saw this guy drinking the entire night, and he was hungover like a whatever somewhere.
Horse, I think.
Yeah. And I said to the owner, I could do it. And he looked at me and goes, what do you mean you could do it? You're a busboy. I said, dude, it's eggs, it's pancakes. I could do it. Like, you need a cook? I can cook. I make the stuff at my house all the time. And he said, fine, get back there. He threw an apron at me, and he said, get back there. And I literally started picking up eggs and omelets and French toast and pancakes. And I also remember I decided to take apple slices, dip them in pancake batter, and fry them. I was making apple beignets. I didn't know what I was making, but I was making apple beignets with a little bit of powdered sugar and a drizzle of maple syrup. And I was sending them out to all the regulars. And I was serving what's called an amuse-bouche. You know what an amuse-bouche is? Amuse-bouche is something you get in a 4-star restaurant, right? It's something free. It's a gift from the chef. I was serving amuse-bouches at 16 years old at Our Gang Inn, a local diner, whatever you want to call it. And from there, my mom always said I was interested in dolphins. I was going to be an oceanographer or great outdoors, or I love cooking. And I eventually made my way to University of Maryland, where I lasted 2 years. And it's not something I'm not proud of, but I did not perform very well academically there.
I went to Hartford, so don't worry about it.
Honestly, just something didn't click, and I was irresponsible. I wasn't even going to class, and I was having a really good time.
Wasn't for you.
And I met some great friends, but the best part was, and the story that I take away from it, is my parents were smart enough to realize that this was not an environment that I was thriving in.
Sure.
And college is expensive, and I was wasting my time. And after you have to declare a major at the end of your sophomore year, right? So at the end of my sophomore year, I declared a major. And I'll never forget, I called my mom, and my mom said, okay, what's your major? And I said, Mom, my major's agronomy. And she said, what's agronomy? I said, Mom, trying to keep a straight face. I was probably high at the time. I said, Mom, agronomy is the study of the soil and the conservation of the environment. How you like me now, Mom? And my mom does not curse. And she
was like, I'm not telling my friends that.
What are you going to do, be a fucking forest ranger? And she said, Josh, do me a favor. Get your shit together, or let's figure out another path for you. And I think 2 weeks later, her and my stepfather, Norman, they showed up, and they took me on a tour they took me away for the weekend. We went on a tour of Johnson & Wales University, Coney School, Rhode Island. And honestly, something just clicked. Something clicked inside to say, this is where I should be. I saw all these young kids in whites, in toques and chef hats, cooking and doing hospitality. And something clicked, and I like to say I was, what was I, 18, 19, 20?
19?
19? I say I made a very mature decision at a young age to go on and start the next chapter of my life. My closest friends are all from Maryland. I did 2 years there. It was enough. I didn't need to stay there for another 2 years with the party and all that kind of stuff. I got on with the rest of my life, and I think it was a pretty smart decision.
So you graduate from Johnson & Wales, and where does that take you?
I graduated from Johnson & Wales. I applied for an externship at Oriel under Charlie Palmer. I think 15 people applied for the externship. I got it. I got hired on the spot.
Wow.
Charlie grabbed me. I was trailing. You always trail. They check you out. You check them out. He grabbed me at the end. He goes, listen, I got a bunch more people trailing, but if you want this is yours. So obviously I showed something to him, and Charlie was terrific. Oriel was one of the hottest restaurants in the city at the time. He's also a mentor. He gave me the job on the spot, and I did my externship there, and I actually worked in pastry and did some other things, but it gave me a really understand a foundation of what fine dining was about. I think I performed very well. I went back to college. I finished up there. I got an associate's in culinary arts and a bachelor's in food service management in 2.5 years. And then from there, I came back to the city. I came back to the city, came back to Rockland County, and I'll never forget, I was home for maybe 2 weeks. And a buddy of mine, Craig Oshkello, and some guys were hanging out at the local hotel. We used to watch Monday Night Football there. And he approached me. He goes, hey, what are you up to? I just graduated culinary school. Somehow the conversation got into the fact that he was heading to Colorado, to Vail, Colorado, to work as a doctor in the local hospital.
Okay.
And he said to me, if you drive out with me, my parents will fly you back because they didn't want him driving cross country by himself.
Sure.
And I said, when are you leaving? This was Monday Night Football. I said, when are you leaving? He goes, Wednesday. I said, you leave on Friday, I'll go. He said, done. So literally that Friday, after being home for 2 days, I got in a car with Craig Oshkello, and we drove cross country. I brought my knives. I brought my shoes. I brought a couple Jeff jackets. I got to Colorado, Vail, Colorado, God's country.
Yeah.
He was living, they had a 3-bedroom place for him to live. There was another guy, Mike, from California, and there was an open bedroom. So I figured I can hang out for as long as I want. I wound up going to the hospital. I said, who's living in the other room? They said, it's vacant. They said, you can rent it if you want. I pounded the pavement, and in 48 hours, I got 7 job offers.
No way.
To cook. Obviously, it's a season, with Oriel on my resume and New York City talent. I got 7 job offers from working on the mountain to some great restaurants. I took a job at Splendido at the Chateau in Beaver Creek. I skied to work every day. We cooked.
That's insane.
We partied. I skied. I stayed the entire season. I stayed into the spring. Which is really when Colorado comes alive.
Yeah.
And I'm talking just beautiful country. We went to Utah. We went to Moab. We went mountain bike riding. There was a whole community there of young kids like ourselves.
Yeah.
Unforgettable experience. And I remember I went out there with $200, and I came back 8 months later with $200. I caught a ride home. I supported myself. My parents did not. Since 14, 15, I had to take care of myself. And don't get me wrong, I had everything I ever needed.
Yeah.
But I think it's important, the work ethic that was instilled on me, upon me from my parents at an early age, I think is something I try to teach my kids as well. Came back, I worked in the Lennox Room back with Charlie Palmer. I worked at Alva under Charlie Palmer. I worked at Park Avenue Cafe with David Burke, who was probably my biggest mentor, still a very dear friend. Calls me all the time. He just sent me a beautiful flower arrangement to the restaurant.
I saw that. That was very nice.
He's just so proud of me. And it's like when it's good when you see people that worked under you thrive.
Yes.
It shows. And we talk to each other all the time. And I think the most important thing David taught me was have fun with food. He was always very whimsical. Have fun with food. Don't take it too seriously. Don't take yourself too seriously. And he really taught me dining room presence. I think one of my gifts is dining room presence as a chef. A lot of people with a back of the house position. Most chefs don't want to be guest facing.
Correct.
And I know David always taught me one thing: if you expose yourself to the dining room, if your parents are sitting on a table, right, and the chef comes over to the table, hey, how are you? What's going on? I brought you this. Here's an extra dessert. Even just a chef's present, and thanks to guys like Emerald and Bobby Flay who paved the way for so many of us. The chef has become a little bit of a celebrity figure, right?
Totally.
When people refer to me as a celebrity chef, I don't even know what that means, but I do. There's a presence with the white jacket. It has become cool. The Food Network, all these things have highlighted what used to be a blue collar position. Well, now we're rock stars.
Stars.
So David taught me if you expose yourself. Imagine if you're sitting at a table and the chef comes over, right? And you're sitting there. Let's say you're sitting there on a date or whoever it is, and the chef comes over to another table. Hey, how you doing? Brings you a couple extra desserts. he's enhancing their experience.
Totally.
But by not acknowledging other tables, you're kind of like, hey, who are they? But what about us?
Totally.
And he told me, if you ever say hello to one table, you had to make sure you say hello to every table.
Yeah.
And I work the room, I think, like nobody else. I touch every table, and everybody knows me, but by the end, I know everybody. So that was an incredible experience for me. I went on later to open up Alva. I went back to work for Charlie at Alva, little chef's bistro on 22nd Street. That was my first exec chef job. I later on took a job at Matthews under Matthew Kenny, where I met my soon-to-be wife. Although I was engaged at the time, we did fall in love together.
She's the cutest.
She is the best.
Yeah.
And we went from Matthews to Canteen downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Canteen turned into Lore Fish Bar. Lore Fish Bar evolved to Barry Meat Company, Burger and Barrel, Toro Blanco. 21-year career down there, Lore Fish Bar in Miami. And then after 21 years, I decided it was time for a change for a number of reasons. Started the VCR group with Gary Vaynerchuk and my partner David Rodolitz and Connor Hanlon. And in the last 5 years, we've been on a bit of a tear.
A little bit. The hugest tear I've ever seen, by the way.
I get emotional because my dad used to say, wait till you see yourself in 5 years. And I just turned 53 2 days ago. And it's just all like coming back to me now. Like I remember 5 years ago, I took a leap of faith. I realigned myself with some really good people that believed in me. And for a little while, or for a little too long, I was looking in the rearview mirror, not focusing on the present or even able to think about the future. And now 3 years ago, for those 2 years, I was in the middle. I was stuck in the middle. I was stuck in the mud, to be honest with you. I have an incredible support system around me between my family, my wife, my friends. Everybody knew it. But celebrating a birthday 2 days ago, a friend of mine pointed out, Eton Sugarman pointed out to me, he goes, Capon, 3 years ago you opened up Little Maven. I'm a mess over here, by the way. 3 years ago I opened up Little Maven. 2 years ago I opened up Fly Fish Club. We opened up Capon's Burgers and the Found Blue Hotel, as well as Barito and Ito with our partners Masa and Kevin Kim down at Ito. And now I just opened up Capon's Shop House, a namesake restaurant, with an incredible team behind me. And I feel like at 53, I feel better than I ever have. I'm happier than I ever have, personally and professionally. And I feel like we're just getting warmed up.
So here's what I'm going to say to you, is what I said earlier, is that you somehow, and if people really pay attention to the things you're saying, and which I do, is that you somehow, all the restaurant stuff is such a bigger picture for life. And I think, for you to be able to sit here and emote about it is exactly, I think, your purpose. You, from where I sit, okay, you talk about Rockland County, you talk about your restaurant group partners, you talk about your family. What I see from you, okay, and we could talk about this, is you are loyal to the end because you seem to take everybody with you. Am I right by saying that?
Can't do it alone. There's no I in team.
There is no, that's right. But
it's true though. It's not just a saying. Yeah. You can't do this alone. You can't. You have to. And for a while there, and listen, I've been through 3 executive coaches. In the last 3 years, I have been through 3 executive coaches. And if you don't have one, get one. I think it's a very powerful tool for a company to have on board. I have been through, and each one of those executive coaches took me on a journey and prepared me for another chapter of my life. And I called 2 of them recently to let them know where I'm at and thankful for what they did for me. But yeah, like you have to surround yourself by good people. And for a while, I was when we first got started, I was steamrolling everybody around me. And one of my old GMs watched it and said, Capon, you got to understand something. You move faster than everybody else. You see things that people don't see. But if you don't get them to rally behind you, then you got nothing. So I had a younger generation. Like, I'm 53 years old.
Yeah.
I've been doing this a long time. I'm a no bullshit kind of guy, but he was right. And his name is Peter Cassell, and he was a general manager of mine and a dear friend. And he taught me a hell of a lot. But he's like, you got to get them to rally behind you and around you. You can't just, and even David Rodolitz, God bless him, my partner and dear friend and God saint, like, saved my career. He saved me.
Were you stuck in, like, you didn't know what direction? Were you not ready to go out on your own? Were you?
After 20 years of being a partner company, I just thought it was time for a change.
Yeah.
My dad taught me a few things. First of all, he always used to say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I think it's a very important question everybody asks themselves. I ask my son sometimes, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah.
Like, nothing wrong with planning ahead. And I think I really started to ask myself that question because after 20 years, I just didn't see it getting any better or fulfilling me personally and professionally. And I just said, and my dad always said, you have to embrace change.
Yeah.
And it was time for a change.
Which is hard.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
especially, listen, 48 years old, I was doing fine. I was financially okay. Like, I had beautiful restaurants in the city. I thought I had it all. But I do know that there was something missing inside. There was something missing inside. And I just felt like I felt a number of things that needed to change. Just a lack of appreciation, a lack of respect, and wanting to do things my way.
Yeah.
And be aligned with people that believed in who I am personally and professionally. And it was just time. So the 5-year thing started to hit me. The change thing, I said, I need to shake this thing up a little bit.
Yeah.
I was suffocating. I was suffocating in a 10-block radius in Soho. And it just became a little bit like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
It was a lot of the same. And I'm just like, there's got to be more for me out there. And Heidi, like, again, we met 3 weeks ago, but like, I think, I don't want to come across arrogant in any way, cocky in any way, because it's not who I am. But sometimes I think I have a higher calling in life. I want to touch more people. I want to make the world a better place.
That's called purpose. That's not arrogance. That's not cocky. That's purpose.
I am.
I feel the same way. And the way you are doing it, like,
I do it through food. I do it through food. I do it through hospitality. I do it through my restaurants. I do it through my relationships. It's sincere. It's organic. The stuff that you see that I post, like it's. I always. First of all, it's never the first time when I do this whole "what'd you say" thing. It's because somebody gives me an unbelievable compliment. It's so raw and it's so real, and I embrace it. And then I pull out my camera and I said, "What'd you say? What did you just say?" And like, "What do you mean?" I go, "What did you just say?" Because I'm never gonna. I don't know what's coming out of people's mouths.
Sure. But
I do believe, and listen, the world the last few years, between COVID, between everything that's going on in the world, like I think people up there are looking at us like, what the hell's going on down there?
Totally.
It's very challenging. I don't care what religion, what nationality, where the hell you live. Like, we should all just start being a little bit nicer to each other.
Amen.
A little more respectful to each other. Like, to have kids these days and to have to go through a pandemic like COVID and to be dealing with we all know, like, what's going on out in the world. Like, it's very challenging. It's not why we were put here. Eat, drink, love, be merry, respect each other, love each other.
I was going to say, the expression good breeds good, right? That's what you have, right? I'm telling you, as someone who's sitting here who has the honor of interviewing you and now being your friend, is watching you open. I think I want to say, like, when Little Maven was opening, I think that's when I was like, this guy is freaking awesome. And the excitement and the energy and just bringing everybody in and making everybody feel part of. I think that's what your magic is. You did it with that. You do it with Fly Fish. You did it with Capon's Burgers, and you're doing it here and another Capon's Burgers to come. Which just means there's so much more to come. But that's, to me, watching you even here work the room is incredible. To see your little speeches that are not so little when you're talking to your staff, when you're talking to your family, which I saw the video you did of your beautiful family sitting here in the PDR, private dining room, sitting here.
Seats up to 30, by the way.
Sitting here is that, you bring them along and everybody is like, hands up, hands in, we're with you.
Listen, it's really only a glimpse because you can only capture so much. And part of me thinks there should have been a film crew behind me for the last 20 years or a camera follow me all around. But that's also, I've had those opportunities. It's also not organic when you do that. And a lot of my magic, and I say it's magic, it's just being real and being in the moment. And it's not scripted. And it's true to who I am and the people around me. Because, if you set up a bunch of cameras in a room, everybody shuts down. And
totally.
A lot of time when I get these compliments, and I literally pull up a camera and I say, "What did you just say?" It's like, you put a camera.
They're frozen.
Some of those take 10 times.
Yeah.
But just tell me exactly what you just said with the emotion that you just said it.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what I just said. So it's difficult to do that. And as much as I love to have a TV show and all this kind of stuff, and hopefully one day I will, to me, I'm a real life guy. Like, I'm in the moment. And Gary Vee, God bless him, one of the most amazing partners I could ever ask for, taught me a lot of things too. When you're having a conversation, like, you got to slow down a little bit. My second executive coach, after 15-minute conversation, he's Capon, I need to teach you something right now. because this is very important what I'm about to teach you. He goes, write this down, STFD. You know what that means? He said, write down STFD.
Slow the fuck down.
Slow the fuck down.
Yeah.
He goes, I get it, but you're moving too fast.
Yeah.
You will be a lot more effective and you will take a lot more in if you slow down a little bit. And it's funny, I watch Gary Vee, who has 20 million plus followers.
Yeah.
He walks down the street and he's a presence celebrity. I watch him when somebody just stops to say hi to him on the street. He stops dead in his tracks. He stares them in the eye. He gives them everything else stops.
Wow.
And I know sometimes, and I've gotten some real critique from customers, from friends, from my business partner David, that have called me out that say, Capon, sometimes we're talking to you and you're looking around or you're not concentrating on the conversation, and it's a little disrespectful. Like I am known, and it's funny. And Gina, my executive assistant, is sitting right here, has been an angel, and my friends know, and I'll get up in the middle of a conversation and just walk away.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry if it comes across as rude, but because it is, but it's not meant to be rude. And this doesn't sound right either, but whatever I have to do, to no disrespect to who I'm talking to me is more important at that moment.
Yeah.
Like Gina's sitting right here. Gina knows I'm going to be right back.
Yep.
But I've had regulars say, I was just in the middle of saying something to you, and no disrespect, like, if there's a table waiting too long, I see it. I see everything. That's
hard to turn off.
I probably have massive ADD and OCD, but you know what? I don't freaking care.
Probably. I'm going to diagnose you. You do. Okay, let's be honest.
I've officially been diagnosed.
Yeah.
The truth is, I also think it's one of my superpowers.
It is.
And I'm harnessing it. And again, through executive coaching and through, I call him Roddy, by the way. David Roddy is my partner and in life at this point. But it's but you have to harness that. And and that's when I say through executive coaches and through David, and I think I'm the best version of myself I've been. My wife just wrote me a birthday card that I didn't post. She asked me not to because I wanted to. But she said, this is the best version of you I've ever seen.
I mean, how amazing is that?
And she's like, you're a role model to not just us, to a lot of people. And she's been through it all. She knows when I was rock bottom. I remember, call it 4 years ago, I remember my wife walking into my kitchen. Want to keep shit real? She walked into the kitchen. I was trying to hold it together, and I couldn't. And she walked into the kitchen. I just started hysterical crying. And I have no idea about what. But I was in the mud. I was stuck in the mud. And she's like, let's go. Let's just go for a walk. And she never stopped believing in me, and she never stopped supporting me. And when she wrote that card, like, this is 4 years later, and she's like, you're the best version of yourself. And she knows how happy I am. And, like, I had a mini intervention where I came home, my two sisters, my wife, and my brother were waiting for me on the deck. And like, you need to do something, dude. You're not yourself. I lost my mojo. I lost my way.
Yeah.
I lost my confidence. I lost my swagger. I used to tell some of my friends that, and they're like, and now it's back. It's back, and good.
I think what people don't realize is life is hard, right? And if you don't do the work and you don't find your purpose, then some bad things can happen, right?
Yep.
So, first of all, you should be proud of yourself.
Thank you.
And it sounds like the people around you are proud of you too, which is amazing.
I have an incredibly support system. I have a lot of really good friends that have been on this journey with me. Everybody knows my best friend in the entire world is Jason Prush. I used to call him complaining. Complaining about my job. And it's funny. I used to thought, I'm like, this guy just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand it. His advice to me was, Capon, shut the fuck up and just go to work. He goes, I'm a mortgage broker. I work so goddamn hard. I don't love what I do. I'm sitting in a base. I'm sitting in an office. Like, I'm staring at screens. Like, it drives me crazy. He goes, you get to run around restaurants. You get to have fun with people. You're around great food. You're around celebrities and athletes. Like, he used to tell me, just shut the fuck up and go to work.
Right, life's pretty good.
Just do what you do. All right, you're not home at night. Maybe you want to be more time with your kids, like all that kind of stuff. But like, he's like, just do it, man. Just do it. And in the end, he was 100% right. But a lot of my friends, and you know who you are, I can name them all played a very instrumental role in listening and hearing me and validating, and at the same time guiding me, whether you're an executive coach or a friend or whoever it was, like mentors along the way, Bobby Flay, Michael Simon, like guys that I used to reach out to, that David Burke.
They've been through it.
They've been through it, and they also knew what I was going through. They knew the players involved. and they also knew me and who I am and what I had to offer.
Sure.
And that I was just getting warmed up, and it's amazing. And I say two things all the time. Say life is about relationships.
Yes, you do.
And don't ever take them lightly, and don't ever disrespect them, and appreciate them and let them know it. And the other one is communication is the key to life with your loved ones, with your kids.
Yeah.
My kids and I are communicating better than ever.
Amazing.
And for a while there, we weren't. My wife, like, wow, like, she's a whole nother topic. I could talk for days about Lori, but like communication is key to life, and coworkers, and you have to be able to understand what's going on when somebody shows up to work, whether it's a dishwasher or captain or manager. Like, everything all right at home? You seem a little off today.
Yeah.
You could ask those questions.
Sure.
It's important to understand that. We're all human. And I remember a few years ago, like, I realize now, by the way, and I'm not afraid to say it, I was completely depressed. I was sleeping too much. I couldn't get out of bed. Now, my clock has been re-strung or whatever. Like, I set my alarm for 9, I'm up at 8. I set my alarm for 8, I'm up at 7.
Because you have adrenaline.
It's just time to go. I have so much. I haven't answered birthday texts from 3 days ago. I can't keep up. I mean, Gina got, like, Roddy and I needed to bring on an executive assistant. I'm a reservationist. Forget being a chef anymore. I'm a full-blown reservationist.
Sure.
The amount of text,
emails,
get
me in here, yeah.
I finally can pass it. I type one thing into my phone, and it puts you in touch with Gina, because I can't keep up. I put more asses in the seats than anybody. I give people a reason to come to the restaurants, but I am just wired differently now. And yes, I sleep well, but there's too much to go, and you can't keep up. But you also have to enjoy it along the way.
You also say, your other quote that you always say is, treat the people.
Wow, you're good.
Take care of the people that take care of you.
Take care of the people that take care of you.
I love that line, because I think a lot of people miss that, right? And it's just, if you think about that, again, you talk about it in regards to the restaurant and the people who work here and all of that. But in life, that's such an important statement. And I look at your Tuesday lunches.
Yeah, the Tuesday lunches are hitting.
With
the girls.
It's the girls who
girls.
Are they're your cleaning people?
Yep.
Is that what it is?
They're 2 cleaning girls that come over. They come over Tuesday. They're in my house probably for 7 hours, and they're the sweetest. And so you want to know how that started?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
So people don't understand how that started. So they come over Tuesdays to clean the house. Right, they're there for 6 hours. I don't know how many hours. One day I went downstairs, and downstairs there's a little extra garage down there, and there's a pair of stairs. There's 2 or 3 wood stairs downstairs by the basement. And I go downstairs, and they are literally sitting on the wood stairs eating lunch out of Tupperware. And first of all, like, that's just not okay with me. That's not hospitality. And I looked at them, and they speak enough English, and I speak enough Spanish. I said, okay, can you guys please come upstairs, please? And I took their lunch, and I sat them at the kitchen table. And I said, when you guys want to take a break, that's fine, but you eat lunch up here in a chair. Yeah. And at a table, not downstairs hiding and on uncomfortable stairs. Like, it just, to me, was very upsetting for me to see that. Because you know what the truth is? Probably not many people make them feel comfortable in their house that they can take a lunch break at the dining room table. Yeah. And in the warmer weathers, I said, you sit outside and take a break. You guys work hard. Like, they work hard. They're cleaning a house the entire day. Lunch is lunch. I don't believe in drive-thrus. I don't believe in eating in your car. Pull over somewhere. Yeah. My buddy Ito just picked up that bowl for me the other day, and he picked up roll roasters. And he told me, he goes, I go, eat it there. It's a hot roast beef sandwich with you. He goes, no, I'm going to eat it in my car. I said, Ito, that's a big mistake. It's going to get all over your sweatshirt. And he wears fancy sweatshirts. He wound up pulling over to a beach and had lunch at the beach. He goes, Capon, great call. But these 2 girls, they were downstairs sitting on the wood steps. I brought them upstairs. And then at the end of the day, I said, hey, next week, don't bring lunch.
And you started making it?
I said, next week, no necesita almuerzo, which means
that was very good Spanish,
right. And they looked at me, I said, don't bring lunch. So next week, I made lunch for them. And I think I made a chicken tortilla, whatever. Listen, I bought a couple soups at Whole Foods, and I put some rotisserie chicken there. I made them lunch. And we ate lunch together.
I mean, how nice is
and
that?
By the way, and again, this wasn't premeditated to say, hey, I'm gonna put on social media, me. It just happened, and I'm like, this is really sweet.
It's the sweetest. Honestly, that's why I'm bringing it up.
And I said to Lori, do me a favor, take a picture. And I don't think anybody ever understood where that came from. But now every Tuesday, I feel a responsibility to make sure that we serve them lunch.
I think it's beautiful.
And the best is when I'm not home and I get a text from Lori, hey, what'd you feed them last week? Like, she doesn't want to double up. And she's like, oh, or she'll call me on Tuesday. I'm at Whole Foods. Do you need anything for lunch for the girls? And I try and revolve it, and it's absolutely magical, and they get it. And I got their permission to kind of post a little bit. And I've had listen, social media is another conversation because I have, at the end of the day, I have a love-hate relationship with social media.
Well, you said to me before we even turned this on, we were eating lunch, as you said, is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yes, it is. There's a lot of things with social media. First of all, kids, I think it's a big. I'm trying to harness it, and I use it for business.
Yeah,
it's a very powerful business tool. But when I watch kids, and you literally have Snapchat maps, and you see where everybody is.
It's brutal.
When we grew up, I'm 52. I don't know how old you are, but like, you went to where you were.
I'm a little older.
You went to where you were.
Yeah.
And you stayed there because you didn't know what else was going on in the
No,
world.
That was it. That's all you knew.
Didn't have we didn't even have phones back then.
We had landlines,
We hung out in the backyard, and it wasn't like, oh, this sucks, let's go someplace else. Oh, everybody's over there. Like
you didn't know.
You didn't know.
Yeah.
So for kids especially, I think it's very challenging. And for me, as a power, a work tool, I do try and harness the power. But I started posting this, the amount of DMs that I got. That said, Chef, I never thought about serving my housekeeper lunch, and I never thought about making them feel welcome to sit at a tiny room table, and even people who have live-ins.
Yeah.
If somebody lives with you, like I would have, if I had a live-in, they'd probably have dinner with me every night.
Totally.
Like, where they should eat alone? Nobody should eat alone.
But
I have a very vivid memory of growing up and seeing a guy eat alone with my dad. I was with my dad and my sisters, and I just came back to me. Guy was eating alone in a local restaurant. I just started crying. I felt bad for him. But who knows? Maybe he wanted to be alone. Maybe he had a wife and kids that would drive me crazy.
That memory, he might have wanted to be alone.
Anyway,
but that's how you lead. Like that's what I'm saying to you.
Take
is
care
like,
of the people that take care of you, because here these two women are cleaning my house 8 hours a day. It just turned into something organic, and a lot of people have fed off of it. And now tell me they feed their cleaning girls lunch or whatever it is. And they come over for Thanksgiving, and they have Thanksgiving with us. Like, they help me,
Yeah.
I said, if you want to work on Thanksgiving, which you don't have to, it's my favorite holiday. They said, no, we want to work. They want to make the money. But I also think now they know, like, it's also a nice holiday for them.
And you're respecting them.
Yes.
You're respecting what they do and who they
are
in
in
your
the
house.
restaurant, too. Like, you take care of each other first.
Yeah.
You take, even Eugene Rem from Catch, one of his lines is take care of each other and then take care of the guest.
Yeah.
And it's true. If you don't, like, even family meal. You work in a restaurant, you get family meal.
Yep.
I've worked in restaurants before where family meal is shit.
Yeah.
It's the same thing every day. It's chicken. There's always leftover chicken legs. Like, you can't serve somebody chicken legs 5 days in a row.
Totally.
And if you don't feed your staff and nourish your staff and let them appreciate what good food's all about, why should they go into service wanting to take care of everybody else?
Exactly. I totally agree with that.
I just hired a new manager down at Fly Fish Club that came from someplace else that said, you know what? We're just tired of it. They wouldn't even give them their schedule a week ahead of time.
How is anyone supposed to plan?
Come on, get your shit together. And there are little things, whether it's a schedule, whether it's family meal. How about I work 5 days a week? I want 2 days off together.
Yeah.
I don't want to be off Monday, Thursday.
I agree. I agree.
I don't care what your weekend is. Like, it's always funny when people say to me in the restaurant, enjoy your weekend. You don't know what my weekend is. My weekend's Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't even have a weekend anymore. But, like, you have to treat them with enough respect that they feel good about where they're working, who they're working for. And right now, like, I know I can tell you from Capon Shop House, we're getting some very good talent out here in Jersey, because I think our reputation is shining.
100%.
And it's a nice place to work. I don't disrespect people. People get to, I got to tell you, I post our family meals here.
Yeah.
Because I'm so proud of them. I was about to eat lunch. I just actually said to my chef, what's your family meal today? Because sometimes family meals are a little more interesting. It could be ethnic. It could be something that you want to eat. So yes, take care of the people that take care of you.
So I'm going to lead into this now. Is recently there's an influencer. His name is New York Turk.
Yeah, wow.
If you don't follow him, you should. He is
Artan.
Artan. Yeah.
This guy is magic.
I'll probably tag him also that we shouted him out. So, but he is a taxi driver, and he goes into Michelin restaurants and he rates them and he pays for them. And
but what he's doing, so he recently came to Fly Fish Club. Right. And I had DM'd him a few months ago, just said, hey, man, really, really appreciate and respect what you're doing.
It's amazing.
And I invited him into the restaurant, but he actually, somebody on Gary Vee's team got in touch with him. What he's really doing is holding restaurants accountable.
Yes.
Because one of my biggest sayings in his life is if you treat everybody like a VIP, then you will win. You can't just treat celebrities like celebrities. That's bullshit.
Correct.
Okay? I don't care who you are. You deserve to be respected. And here is this guy who doesn't look anything special, walking into some of the top restaurants saying, hey, you have a table for one?
Yep.
And whether they do or they don't, how you respond and how you treat this guy who, no disrespect, might look like a taxi cab driver. He might not look like your average customer.
Yeah.
How you, and and you know what? Now I think the cat's out of the bag a little bit, but if you watch some of the early reviews, you know, like he's
like
probably,
in Jean George.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Danielle's coming out and cooking for him. And
yes,
JG's
that was amazing.
And I'm very friendly with Danielle, and I'm very friendly with JG. Those guys have hearts of pure. Their hearts are filled with hospitality.
Yeah,
they wouldn't have it any other way. But some of these other restaurants, I've been there, where you get a lot of attitude.
Yeah,
screw you. I'm paying money to be here. Like, treat me. And one of the things I said to him, and it's funny, he came in. I knew he was coming, but I didn't even know when he first walked in. I didn't know he was capturing content.
Yeah.
And I gave him a very, very real, genuine reception.
Yeah.
And what I said to him was, dude, like, you know, what you're doing is pretty incredible because you're holding people accountable. And then I said to him, I said, hey, you want to do that again? You want to do that in capture? Because I just did. And I realized, like, that's why you just always have to be real.
Yeah.
And even being in a membership club, like, whoever walks in that door, whether they're a member or not, maybe somebody doesn't even know what Fly Fish Club is.
Yeah.
If they walk in, hey, how are you? How can I help you? I'd like to have dinner. You know what? I'm really sorry. There's a way to not have one thing we don't have at Fly Fish Club that I'm so proud of. We don't have attitude. We're not pretentious. We're friendly. We're loving. Our guests, our members love us. We have created a real sense of community. And some of these clubs are not known for that. I'm like, guys, we might be a membership club, but we're going to treat everybody just like as we should. And Turk, he's amazing. And then we sat down at the end and we had a really nice conversation. I don't listen. The one battle
it was an amazing conversation. It was so real, and I think it really set off, you know, understanding who he is and understanding who you are. Because people didn't even know who you were, they were commenting, because I read through the comments, and it was beautiful, because they're like, that guy knows what he's talking about. That guy's saying it straight. Because you were saying, because I'm going to set up the scene, is you gave him a check, and it was a penny. And he didn't want that. He wanted to pay, and what he ended up doing...
He always wants to pay.
Yeah, and what he ended up doing was leaving a very generous tip to the staff.
He wouldn't.
Right, but when he left the tip, you said you're going to take care of them. And it was a very nice exchange between the two of you, understanding how real the moment was.
Yes.
Right?
So thank you for saying that up, because what I was going to say is, and the one thing I'm battling right now is time. I don't have enough time.
No, you don't. I could see that.
I post a lot on social media, but I wish I had more time to embrace some social media. And Nikita, who handles our social media as well as a bunch of other stuff, she said, have you had a chance to look at the comments on the piece that he posted? I said, no. Why? And she said, she said, you're getting a lot of love.
Yeah.
And people were just very receptive of how genuine and how appreciative you were of what he's doing. And I scrolled through some of them. And again, I want to capture all of it, but
it made me laugh and it made me cry.
Yeah.
And I posted that, but it really, to me, it was such a real moment. And I think it's what made me love you even more. But it's true. And it just shows that what you do on social media is really, truly who you are, you know? So out of all the restaurants going on, right? Fly Fish, Little Maven, Capon's Burgers, Chop House, and what's that, Fountain Blue? Well, that's not, I mean, that's...
Ito and Barrito.
Yeah. So out of all of them, which one do you feel is your baby?
Well, if you have kids and somebody says, it's like saying, who's your favorite kid? You can't answer that question because I love both my kids very much. I'm incredibly proud of them. Listen, each of these restaurants, it's funny, you know, we opened up Little Maven first, right? And I took over an existing space from a friend of mine, PJ, who had a restaurant there called Scampy. And I said, we needed to plant a flag somewhere.
Yeah. And
when we first opened that restaurant, part of me was like, that's it. That's what I got. You know, I'm coming off of a couple very popular restaurants in New York City. It wasn't filling the void that I needed to at the time.
Sure.
But now, 2 years later, with an incredible management team, both front of the house and back of the house in that restaurant, I love that restaurant.
It's amazing. I love it there.
God, I'm so emotional. That restaurant was there for me when I needed it.
Yeah.
More than I needed anything in my entire life.
I
This is
think-
my partner, by the way. This is Connor Hanlon.
Hi, Connor.
This is my
I
partner
met
now.
you. I introduced myself the night that I was here.
This is partner, chef partner in
We
VCR
know
Group.
Chef Connor. We know why Fly
He
Fish is named
with-
Fly Fish.
Without, you see that? Somebody's paying
I
attention.
pay attention.
Without this guy, I would be absolutely nowhere. He has supported me in the culinary. He's one of the greatest chefs of the 21st century.
And not a gray hair in his head, I will say
this
that.
guy
That's
is
a good
just-
sign.
This guy is smooth. But no, seriously, Connor, who just happened to walk into the PDR during this thing, he is very, very lucky to have him part of the team. It's incredible. And we've worked through real talk. It took us a little while to get to where we are now.
Sure.
And we've had executive coaches that have helped us to get to where we are now.
Yeah.
And we talked about that earlier. But now we know what we are capable of doing individually together. And as long as communication, we talked about communication being the key
Yeah.
to life. We have communicated beautifully over the last 6 months to a year. And we are now unstoppable between Connor, myself, and David, and Tony, and Lucas. And as we pick up more people along the way, we are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the hospitality field.
I saw you just had a nice retreat with the partner.
did.
That was very sweet
Listen,
too.
we make it a point every year now to go away for a couple days and catch up. But the most important thing about that retreat was we realized we're all aligned. We are all aligned on
Yeah.
what we want as a company, what we need as individuals. From last year to this year, I think we've come a long way. I'll tell you one thing. One of the funniest things somebody said to me. So Lucas Billheimer is our corporate chef, who I have a 20-year relationship with, who I brought into the fold, who has also been a wonderful addition to the VCR group. He's an incredible work ethic, but he also gets me and understands
Yeah.
me and keeps me in check. I think a year ago, Connor and I weren't seeing eye to eye on a lot of stuff. We came back and we just had a meeting with Lucas. And Lucas called me an hour afterwards. He was on his way home, and I was on. He goes, "Man, I don't know what peyote you guys were smoking together up in the mountains, but I really like it. So when you guys came back, you seem to be really aligned. So you guys should do that more often." What were we talking about before Connor just opened the door?
Little Maven. And I was going to say to
so-
you, it sounds like Little Maven was the chapter turn in your book.
Big.
Yeah.
Chapter was Little Maven was our first flag in the ground in terms of VCR group at a New York City restaurant. And at first I was like, that's it. And now I got to tell you, man, that restaurant is so special because it was the first venture for VCR group. We needed a
Like a flagship. Like
a flagship,
yeah.
but also to bring on employees.
Yeah.
Like some of our best
A
employees.
vehicle to bring on employees,
It was
yeah.
something we had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Fly Fish Club was taking too long. We couldn't find a space. Roddy was very smart and saying we got to get something open.
Yeah.
It needs to be guest facing and it needs to be public.
Yep.
It's not a membership club. And we got that place open. And again, we have the strongest management team in there. Chef Michael, Ronald, Taylor. We took one of our best captains from Fly Fish Club, and now she's an AGM. We took our best SOM/manager at Fly Fish Club, and he's our GM. Anthony Totten, public relations, VIP, whatever you want. It's amazing to watch how now that restaurant is really fun. And people don't understand how difficult this business is. That restaurant's been open 2 years, and we are really now finding our stride.
That's amazing.
I had somebody
Yeah.
walked in here. I had somebody leave a 1-star review here last week, and I'm tempted to get in touch with them because it pissed me off. They showed up a half an hour late for their reservation.
Right.
It was a busy Friday night, and after 2 hours, 2:15, maybe 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I applied a little pressure on the table.
Sure.
Because I had another table waiting at the bar for their 8 o'clock reservation. And it was 8:20. And you know what? You could wait 15 minutes for a reservation, especially on a weekend night, and I'll buy you a drink at the bar. But by 20 minutes, you're starting to wonder, hey, we got here. It's like a doctor's office.
Yeah.
Eventually, I did my job. You should be doing yours.
Especially when they came late.
Yeah, well, so the table that got here late, I applied a little bit of pressure. I said to the waiter, and by the way, you don't have to leave, but I'll buy, if I have to buy you a drink at the bar, I will.
Yeah.
But he obviously felt the pressure. Next morning, hit that 1-star button, no problem whatsoever, and felt rushed at the end of the meal. You know what he didn't mention? Showed up 35 minutes late.
Yep.
Had an extraordinary meal. The meal was delicious. The service was top notch. We even offered to buy him a drink at the bar. But people need to be more. With great power comes great responsibility. You know
Yes.
who that's from?
Who is that from?
Spider-Man. With great power, Uncle Ben. With great power comes
Uncle
great
Ben,
responsibility.
yeah.
You know what? It takes a lot of power and responsibility to hit a 1-star button.
Yeah.
But you know what? You don't. We worked in this for 3 weeks. You know how much time, energy, and money I spend. You know, you asked me which is my out of all the restaurants.
Yeah.
This restaurant has my name on it.
Yeah.
If you don't think that's a big deal, you're crazy.
That's
It's
what
a
I
big
would.
deal.
It's the hugest.
Not that it's my best work yet, but I know that this restaurant since day one is the best version of myself, and I know how much time, energy, and money. And you saw some of it on the gram, like how we train the staff, and literally like from staff on staff training to kitchen training to all of it to understanding my Josh hospitality, if people have called it on.
That's cute.
I
Yeah.
didn't call it that, but like it's all paying off now. And I said it on my birthday the other day, and again, like you saw the birthday speech I made. I made that speech earlier to the staff during lunch training, and I was hysterical crying, and half of them were too, because I said, you guys gave me exactly. My wife always says, what do you want for your birthday? I have no idea.
Yeah.
What do I need? I don't need a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
I have an amazing family. I have a beautiful house. I have the best dog on the planet. I have an
Your
amazing
dog
wife.
is the cutest,
Like,
Cody.
what do I need? I don't need a damn thing. You know
Yeah.
what I needed? I need a restaurant like this with my name on the staff to shine like the star that I am, the star that my dad was. Like it's pretty incredible. And Roddy and I laugh about it sometimes. He's like, you know, I'm sure Roddy wants his name up there.
Yeah.
I told Connor and I had a heart-to-heart up at Scribner's Lodge, where I knocked on his door one night before we went to bed. I said, can we talk? Because, I also understand what it must be like for him to put so much work into a project,
Yeah.
and to have somebody else's name on it.
Yes.
And I said, Connor, just so you know, man, when I see a C on the plate, I see Connor. Most people see Capon. I see Connor. You design these plates.
Yeah.
You know, and he's played such an important role, and I've always surrounded myself by good talent. Connor is light years, like not just on the culinary side, and with the way he communicates with people, and that like he's made me so much better, and I think he understands what my role is too. But like I said it to him, like I'm sure you know, and
Yeah.
one day we're gonna do a restaurant, and it's gonna be Connor's restaurant. It's not gonna be a Chef Capon
Yeah.
restaurant. It's going to be Connor Hanlon, whatever you want to call it. You know,
Yeah.
maybe we want to do a CNC food factory where it's Connor and Capon, because I get a lot of credit for everybody's hard work.
Yeah.
A lot of the food has to do with Connor and Lucas and Chef Jin here. And, you know, it's funny when somebody says to you, hey, did you make this? I'm like, yeah, I made it. I'm like, I have a culinary team back there. Like, nobody should ever take credit for anything.
Yeah.
When you're part of a team. We, not I.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you do to relax?
What do I do to relax?
I mean, I feel like you don't relax.
You know, my
Or
diet
this is relaxing.
Listen, I'm enjoying myself right now.
Thank you.
And Gina has my phone over there, and I
Yeah.
can probably talk for another 3 hours with you. What do I do to relax? Like, I love being outside. I love being with family and friends. I do gardening. I do gardening. I have.
That's where the
I have
agronomy came in?
Yeah, I do holiday decorations.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Halloween is my greatest achievement. You know, even look, Halloween decorations. My son Max doesn't hate it, but he definitely does not look forward to Halloween decorations. And I had to tell him last year. I said to him, Max, I got to tell you something. I don't understand something. This is not about the Halloween decorations. This is about me and you hanging out for an hour or two outside in the front, running around, maybe talking a little bit, having a few laughs.
Yeah.
That's what this is about.
It's awesome.
The Halloween decorations is a byproduct of us having an annual tradition together. And maybe you will, maybe you won't, but maybe you do this with your son one day.
Yeah.
And I lost my dad at 82, and I have no regrets whatsoever, because there was no conversation we didn't have. There was no stone unturned. He lived life to the fullest. He literally bumped his head when he just fell over and bumped his head, and it took him out. But there was nothing left that we needed to talk about. We
Yeah.
talked about when he would die, what it would be like, what he wanted me to do. So he's the only thing that could have made this restaurant just a little bit sweeter
Is him here.
is if he was on the floor with me.
Yeah.
Because
But you honor
that guy
him
Leo,
tremendously.
Like that guy Leo that we just met.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. I have a picture of him the last time we cooked together. Ironically, we cooked tomahawk steaks together. And there's a picture of us and a couple tomahawk steaks in front of the restaurant. And what's really cool is that I'm wearing the bracelet that most people know was from him before he passed away. And people who know me or just follow me, they point out the bracelet in the picture.
Yeah.
And it's not eerie. It's special. You know, I had a woman here the other day. A lot of people, when they follow you, there's also little, if you come here, by the way, my dad used to love birds. And every time there's a bird in my backyard, I literally go outside and have a conversation with the bird, because I think it's my dad. And I have a little bird in the tree. There's a tree in the middle of the restaurant. I put a little bird in there. So I show people that's my dad. He's kind of everywhere. But, people also say to me, like, I follow you. It's creepy. It's eerie. It's not.
Who says
It's,
that?
well, no, some people
Yeah.
feel like it's something to be ashamed of. When we talked about the juice being worth the squeeze,
Yeah.
just so you know something, people, the content that I post
Yeah.
is usually between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning every night.
Yeah.
I always believe in living in the moment. I might capture content at a table. I do never post when I'm in the moment. I try and curate a little bit. Like I'm a movie producer.
Yeah,
You know,
yes.
I always say turn the volume up because I like to put fun songs, but and then it goes away in 24 hours. But is the juice worth the squeeze? Because it takes a lot of effort. I probably should be answering emails and texts. I'm still 200 text messages beyond on my birthday. And I'm so sorry. I appreciate all the birthday wishes. People have actually texted me yesterday. Did you get my birthday text? I'm like, yeah, I'm so sorry. I was enjoying my birthday. I didn't want to spend it all day responding to texts. But, this woman the other night who was awesome, by the way, she's like, I've been following you for 8 years. She's like, is that creepy? I'm like, no. Because if you put yourself out there, would it be better if nobody was following along?
No, you're doing it because
You do the
yes,
same thing.
I do the
Look,
same
yeah.
thing. People stop me all the time, and it's to me, it's the nicest
You
thing
are
that people.
you are a local celebrity.
Yeah.
And I told you when you came in here for the first night, when I posted you on my social media, the amount of mutual friends that we have,
Yeah.
and the amount of people that said, and no disrespect, Heidi, I didn't really know you before then.
Yeah.
The amount of people that said to me how awesome you are and what you do for local businesses.
Thank you.
It's amazing. And
Thank you.
everybody, we all need to support each other.
Yes.
The restaurant business is tough. There's so many restaurants. I don't like people that leave bad reviews. Or if you have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. You don't have to
I mean,
leave
it's
a bad
so
review.
it's so easy,
Don't
right?
leave a bad review.
I said to we were saying before, Gina heard me say this, is that it's easier to be nice than it is to
Listen,
be mean.
And Gary Vee is my partner.
I mean, yeah, forget it, yeah.
With somebody that is so genuine and positive and empathetic and grateful for all of it. I remember years ago, my buddy Guy Fieri got a 1-star review for the restaurant in the New York Times. Shame on the New York Times.
Totally.
Shame on the New York Times, because Guy Fieri is one of the greatest chefs, personalities. What he does for philanthropy and just goodwill.
Yeah.
He makes everybody around him better. And he opened a restaurant in Times Square, and Pete Wells, the piece of shit at the time, who was writing for the New York Times, literally left him a 0-star review.
It's crazy.
For what? For shits and giggles? For
Yeah.
clickbait? Because I'll tell you, nobody who reads, not to be disrespectful, nobody that reads the New York Times is probably going to Guy Fieri's restaurant in
Times Square, yeah.
And nobody that goes to Guy Fieri's restaurant is probably reading the New York Times.
Yep.
So what? I guarantee there was some restaurant somewhere that probably could have used a positive review
Yep.
to help them get people in the door. But you used your platform. And when we talk about great power comes great responsibility,
Yep.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wells, that was not a great use of your power.
Yeah.
And we talked about my buddy PJ's restaurant, Scampi, that I took over.
Yeah.
PJ, who's one of the greatest chefs that I know, that is currently the chef at Maria Group, where he used to work with Michael White, opened a restaurant. And it was a great restaurant. It never got the critical acclaim that it deserved.
Sure.
I sent everybody to Scampi.
Yeah.
Some of the best pastas you've ever had. It wasn't enough to get him over the hump.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a New York Times article
Instead of
would've got
doing-
him there.
yeah.
Instead of writing a dumb review about donkey sauce, you know what?
Yeah.
Guy's awesome. Guy's doing just fine.
He's
one of the
exactly.
best. He's one of the best TV chef personalities out there. This is
Yes,
what
yeah.
you felt good about yourself.
Yeah.
This made you feel good. It was a self-serving review. He didn't deserve it. The public deserves better than that, and we all deserve better than that.
So you said earlier that your dad said to you should always look 5 years ahead, right? So let's look 5 years ahead. What do you say?
Oof. Listen, right now, I gotta tell you, more than ever, I am so locked in. I am locked in. I am focused. I am what we are doing now. And listen, Fly Fish is a year old, and we are just getting warmed up of there. Would we love to have a couple more of those? Oh yeah. The blueprint is there. The culinary program is there. The
For
the
Las
layout.
Vegas, Miami,
Yeah,
like
wherever
that?
it may be.
Yeah.
Is it Vegas? Is it Miami? Is it LA? I'm not sure, but these membership clubs, if you do them right, we used to use this word community. It is such a nice community. When I walk into that restaurant, and every restaurant, starting here at Capon's, people have been here. We've been open 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not lying. People have been here 5 or 6 times already. Which
Oh,
is
I'm
pretty,
sure,
which is
yeah.
pretty cool. So I think every restaurant I'm at, people there is a sense of a community. But to have a membership club, you have a real sense of community. I love being there because everybody knows each other. My favorite TV show was Cheers, where everybody knows your name.
Yeah, totally.
Everybody knows each other. Everybody supports each other. They hang out outside the restaurant together. Like it just really has become something special. So yes, we love to do a couple more of those. We opened up our first Capon's Burgers at the Fontainebleau Hotel in Las Vegas with Jeffrey Sulfur and Brett Mufson. And I have my name in lights in Vegas, and I'm the 8-time champion of the Burger Bash.
Yes,
Nobody
you
else
are.
can say that. And the fact that now I have a flagship burger restaurant in the hottest, most beautiful hotel in Las Vegas. And let me tell you something, Jeffrey Sulfur. You want a quick story? $4 billion property. 13 years to get open. I go out there for the opening of that hotel. Star-studded event. Tom Brady, the whole world's out there. My wife, Gary, and Roddy and Connor, we're all out there with our wives. And the day before the grand opening, we're checking out Capon's Burgers. And it started with my name on the floor in the tile. But now and it was the first time I was out there, my name is in lights above everything. And 2 days earlier, I happened to be on Good Morning America with my buddy Michael Strahan. And I dropped the Fontainebleau, and I dropped Capon's Burgers, and I dropped Jeffrey Sulfur, who's been an amazing, amazing partner and visionary, and never, ever stopped when people said you're crazy for blank. Never stopped. Brett Mufson, and who has a great relationship with David Rutledge, which is where it all came from. I walked up to Sulfur, who's a big-time guy, let's be honest. He's got his hotel opening. The whole world's flying in for this hotel.
Yeah.
I'm literally walking over to him. It's one of the things I'll never forget. I walk over to him to say, I'm about to say, hey, Jeffrey, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for my name in lights. Thank you for my first Capon's Burgers. Before I say anything, he goes, hey, Capon, I wanted to say thank you for the shout-out on Good Morning America this morning.
Oh, my God.
And I looked at him, and again,
Yeah.
I was so taken aback that he knew that I did that,
Sure.
that he saw that I did that, and that they had the I don't want to say common decency, but he had just the you talk about the moral compass to say, hey, man, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, because it's nice. And did I have to give him a shout out? No. But I don't have this opportunity without him.
Yep.
He deserves a lot of credit for creating the most beautiful hotel in Las Vegas, if not the entire world, by the way. This place is absolutely breathtaking.
It looks phenomenal.
It is breathtaking. The culinary program, second to none. The rooms, everything about this place is just majestic. There's no stone unturned. Like it's unbelievable. And it's been a great, incredible chapter of my career to be part of this thing. So I think my point was Capon's Burgers, the first. We're opening our second one in Bergen Town Center. And listen, Shake Shack is opening 52 properties this year.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a few.
Yeah, let's beat Shake Shack.
No, it's not about
No, I'm
beating.
just kidding.
No,
I'm
but
kidding.
I know
I'm
what
kidding.
you
Yeah.
mean, though. But there's
Yeah.
obviously a market for it. Capon's Burgers, we opened this place 3 weeks ago. This came from an opportunity of an existing restaurant nearby my house that somebody said to me, hey, you want to get involved in this? And we did, and we raised a couple of dollars, and we brought this thing back to life. This thing is hitting hard.
Yes, it is.
People are loving the food. They're loving the vibe. The best compliment I get is the vibe, because people are saying it feels like a New York City restaurant without having to drive to New York City.
Yeah.
And a lot of local restaurants I go to, I'm like, lower the lights, turn up the music.
Yeah.
And they look at me like, who the hell are you? I'm like, lower the lights and turn up the music.
Yeah.
And when you create that vibe, and it feels good in here. And honestly, knock on wood, three weeks in, this place is doing very well. I think we're just getting warmed up. We're just open for lunch. Would it be great to have one of these in Short Hills? Maybe.
Yeah.
Would it be great to have one in Long Island? Maybe.
Yeah.
So again, the next 5 years, I do know that everything we are doing as a company and VCR Group, and like we have thoughtful discussions about every move that we make. We are aligned in every move that we make. We treat every opportunity with respect. Every employee, like the general manager here, Alan, was my beverage director at Fly Fish Club. My executive chef, Jin, was our executive sous chef at Fly Fish Club.
Wow.
Lucas Billheimer, who was supposed to be the executive chef here, has now become the corporate chef. We are like a tornado. I like a hurricane? Is
Yes.
a hurricane? We are just trying to grab good talent, good people. You know, when somebody says to me, Lucas said, this is the last company I ever want to work for.
So that's amazing.
It's an
that
amazing.
says a lot.
Gina,
Yeah.
Gina, you like your job? Like when Gina says, I love my job. And it just, we all got to work. We all got to work. Feel good about going to work. Feel good about the people that you work with and for. And I say with because nobody works for me.
Yeah.
We work together. Everybody plays their role. I hired Angela. Angela, who used to work locally at a few restaurants, has been unbelievable. When I posted her on my social media, thousands of people like,
She's
oh my God,
awesome.
you hired Angela?
Yeah.
And then we got Anna through Angela. And everybody's like, oh my God, you got Anna? Because the most important thing and the biggest question I get is how are you going to spend your time? How are you going to be everywhere? The most important thing for me now is whether I am there or not, whether I am physically in the space or not. that my presence is felt through Josh Brutality,
Yeah.
through a compliment. It's not about sending something for free. It's making sure, hey, you know what, Capon's not here tonight. He wanted to send you out a little warm focaccia with some fresh whipped ricotta. And I always say, like, if you just drop that on the table and walk away, people don't understand. Like,
No.
did we order this?
They're like, oh, we
Does
got a bread
everybody get this?
basket. Yeah.
It is so important to say, hey, Capon's not here.
Yeah.
He just wanted to make sure you guys enjoyed this and those little steps. You know, I went to, it was my birthday, and I was at an exercise place. They said, hey, we have something for you at the front. I said, okay. On the way out, they said, would you like a smoothie?
Sure.
I said, okay, sure. It's because I have no idea why.
Right.
Was this a complimentary smoothie because it's my birthday? I have no idea why. Later on, I posted it, and a friend of mine, Daniela, who does our curtains over here, who's a beautiful human being, she's like, did you know that was from me? I said, no, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Because they never said, hey,
This is
Daniela,
from, yeah.
and it was such a major misstep on a $5 smoothie.
Yeah.
Because it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
You have to connect the dots.
Yes.
Everybody needs to understand, connect the dots, make those connections. Life's about relationships. Communication's the key to life. All that stuff I say, I don't just say it, I live it. I breathe it. My wife knows it. Big shout out to my wife. You asked about my wife earlier. Like, let me tell you something. You talk about a rock. You talk about a rock. I don't know where the fuck I would be.
I think people want to see more Lori
Listen,
Capon.
I tell her all the time, Mrs. C, they love you out there.
They love her.
She's like, look, you love the camera, but honestly, like she just supports me like you have no idea.
You need that. You need that.
I don't know where I would be without her.
Yeah.
I tell, just so you know, she knows it because I tell her all the time. She's an amazing mother. She's an amazing wife. She's an amazing friend. Cody loves her. And it just, listen, I'm so grateful. You know, I think I posted, I don't know if you caught it, but I think the day after we opened this restaurant, I was sitting outside. It was a Sunday. I was literally putting up Halloween decorations.
Yes.
I was putting up Halloween decorations, and in between the skeletons and the spider webs, I sat down on the front step for a second in front of my house. And Heidi, it wasn't a beautiful day out. It was cloudy out. I just sat down for a second, and the sun came through the clouds.
Yeah.
And it just hit me. It just absolutely hit me. And I felt my dad in the best way possible. And I just felt this absolute overwhelming sense of gratitude.
Yeah.
For all of it. And it just was this incredible moment. And I FaceTimed my partner, Roddy, and I'm hysterical crying. He was, are you okay? I said, Roddy, I am so okay. I just wanted to call and say thank you for everything. He said, I love you, brother. This is 30 years in the making. You deserve it all.
Yeah.
I said, without you, he goes, it's not about me. And granted, he saw something in me, and he was also ready for a change in his career path. The fact that we were able to align forces and pick up Connor along the way and create these.
It's special.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. And honestly, like, the craziest thing was, like, I'm sitting there, and eventually Lori came outside, and we're sitting there just talking, and Cody's out there with us. And out of nowhere, Robin and Stephen Epstein, who are two of my favorite people, such loving, caring. They live down the street. They pulled up in front of the house, and they start walking to us, and they're carrying donuts from the orchards where I grew up.
Yeah.
And apple cider. And I swear to you, she's got silver hair, and the sun is coming from behind her. And I'm telling you, she looked like an angel. It's so crazy. And she sees me sitting there, and I almost just started crying again because I'm like, what is this?
Like beautiful.
Who sent you?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, are you okay? I'm like, Robin, I am so okay. She's like, we were just at the orchards, and we brought you apple cider donuts and apple cider. And I love apple cider donuts. And I love apple cider.
Yeah.
She's like, do you want us to leave? I'm like, no, I want you to sit down.
Have a
I want
donut, have some cider.
And we
Yeah.
did. And her husband, Steven, is so wonderful. And they're some of our biggest supporters. I don't know if you saw, but they took us on a helicopter ride for Amanda's birthday to a beautiful place for lunch. Like, I don't want to say who does things like that because people do things like that.
People do things like that.
And he's all over me because Max couldn't make it that day and he wants to take Max. It's just like, just put good stuff out there. Put out good energy in the world. And karma is everything.
Yes.
Like my dad used to say karma all the time. Carpe diem. My dad used to say carpe diem.
Yep.
Live every day to the fullest.
Yes.
Because you don't know when it's going to be your last. And my dad got knocked over by the wind.
Yeah.
The wind blew him over.
Wow.
And paralyzed him.
Wow.
And you know what? We had enough time to say goodbye. And the one thing I'm thankful for is my dad never wanted to grow old and die.
Yeah.
He always said, I don't want to grow old and die. And I think it was actually God's. I always say everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
Although there are a few things I can't explain. I think my dad went out exactly when he was supposed to because he went out on top. I remember he looked good. He was all there. To watch, I know to have to deal with your parents growing old.
Yeah.
And having it's a lot, whether
Yes.
it's all whatever it may be. I remember him in the best possible way possible.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm grateful for that too.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. We could talk for hours. I'm going to come back. I think we're going to have to do like a second parter.
How long have we been talking?
I mean, we're at an hour 7, almost an hour 8. Yes, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm being serious. We could keep going. But here's what I'm going to say to you. I think you are in an amazing place. I think you are an amazing person. I'm so happy that we are now in each other's lives. And I really hope that the people that are listening, number 1, come to Capon's Chop House in Hackensack. And number 2, follow you because there is serious magic in there. And I feel like everyone can use a little bit of dose of the positivity and the life lessons.
Just be kind, and a shout out to my daughter, by the way, Amanda. She is a little bit following my footsteps in the best way possible. She's thrived over the local country club this past summer, and it's fun to watch her do what she does. Like you always wonder if your kids are watching. She's cooked.
They're always watching.
She was cooking steaks this past weekend for maybe 40 people with her boyfriend at a couple of houses they rented. I'm seeing videos of her cook 40 steaks at the time. Like wow. She's got it.
She's got it. She's got the Capon genes, baby.
My son Max is magic. You know, I have an annual little get-together in my backyard called Friday after Thanksgiving, and I just have so much going on. I'm like, maybe this is not going to happen. Oh, it's happening, and you better be there, Heidi.
I'm going to try.
My daughter's like, oh, it's happening. Like, and she's playing the event planner role, and it's yeah. Even that
amazing.
guy Leo, we just had a guy Leo that just came in here, and within 5 minutes, he's like, "This place is special." You're
he was
special.
awesome. Yeah,
we had a woman here the other day that she celebrated her 1-year anniversary here. She celebrated the anniversary of her boyfriend's death,
passing away. That was very.
But even my hostess that was smart enough to realize, wait a second, you're celebrating an anniversary by yourself.
Yeah.
To ask, can I ask what that means? And
that was amazing.
Like, and next thing, she became family here, and we were laughing, and we were crying, and we bought her dinner, and like, again, this is not trying to be. I go, can we post this? She's like, please, like this has been amazing.
Yeah.
So take the moment, take the second to say, hey, are you okay? Like, why are you celebrating an anniversary by yourself? Like,
you know what?
Going on?
I think, like I said, there's magic in the building where you are at. There's magic in what you produce with your team, with the people around you, and you can feel it. I mean, I felt it the first night I walked in. Literally, I grabbed you and said, sit next to me.
I'm so glad that you did.
So I think that you're amazing, and you should be really, really, really proud of yourself.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Joshy.
I gotta tell you, you look badass in that cape on.
I mean, this is on me forever. Come on now.
Fire.
Fire. Thank you so much.
Listen, Heidi, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody out there. If you're still listening to this, support Heidi, support all your local businesses. Please come to Capon Shop House. If you do, please always say hi. If you see me personally or on DM me, I always try and get back to all my DMs. Lori helps me out with a little bit of them. But you put yourself out there, and it's nice to feel the love back.
You're the best, man.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you. If you are hearing this message, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I'm truly grateful for you and this opportunity. The purpose of the Behind the Counter podcast is to bring food, people, and community together. I hope you'll return for more episodes and explore with me. I want to personally thank Fran Linnell of Design 68 for my amazing Behind the Counter podcast logo, and Travis Lohnberg for my awesome Behind the Counter music, and all the guests that take their time to sit and talk with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you hear your podcasts. If you'd like to support the Behind the Counter podcast, please subscribe, share with your friends and family, and you can follow me on Instagram at Heidi Blum. If you have any feedback or stories that you want to share, you can email me at foodsarbtc@gmail.com.